Well, it wasn't by choice, but it turned into a fucking Giallo kind of night. And the reason for that is because initially I started off the night wanting to watch a Japanese horror film, okay, because my girlfriend had recently bought me a couple of these, actually for my birthday, so back in September. And I finally sit down to watch this movie called Bewitched that has like pretty lackluster cover art, but when you open it up, and of course, like 88 Films and different companies like that, they're known for including like the original art, like cover art. So there's the mock-up art, and then look at this. Like, come on. How much doper is this? Like, I just love hand-drawn movie posters. Like, they just look so badass. And not only that, but even the disc. Even the disc looks badass. But the reason I'm mentioning all this is because, like, the reason I'm mentioning all this before I start talking about an Italian Giallo film, this movie would not play in my Blu-ray player. This is not a region-free Blu-ray. I'm new to the whole world of like the region-free kind of stuff, and that was very unfortunate because I was just really wanting to watch that movie. I have another one up there called Black Magic 2. So it looks like I'm going to have to wait and get a region-free Blu-ray player because, and it's a piss-off because it's like, why is that even a thing? Why does that have to even exist? I think it's bullshit. It should just work universal. It should be universal discs. But anyways, let's get into the movie in question tonight. So I popped in an Italian film called What Have They Done to Solange?
What have you done to Solange? Well, she killed him the same way as the others.
Also known as Who's Next? So I'm going to read you the back here. This is actually the VHS tape put out by Luminous Film and Video Works, which was a company that distributed a lot of rare and hard to find movies back in the late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. And this also, I should mention, this comes from the collection of my Uncle Mike, who was, he ordered so many fucked up movies. And luckily I got a majority of them behind me, and I'm very thankful for that. So Mike, you're the shit. But anyways, what have they done to Solange, aka Who's Next? A tale of schoolgirls being murdered by the proverbial black-gloved killer, which of course is like in every Giallo film. Fabio Testi stars as a womanizing professor who becomes the main suspect. A completely wonderful thriller, including all of the key elements that go into a successful Giallo, based on the Edgar Wallace novel The Secret of the Green Pin, starring Fabio Testi, Cristino Galbo, and Karen Ball, directed with style by Massimino D'Aliamo, music by Ennio Morricone. Of course, Ennio Morricone being of Fistful of Dollars fame, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He's done music for Quentin Tarantino. He's done music for John Carpenter. He's a legend in the world of cinema. So that was really cool, and the music was pretty good. But before I kind of get into it, actually, I'll do a little bit of the credits. So the cool thing about this director, this Massimino D'Aliamo, is he shot Fistful of Dollars, and he shot for a few dollars more. Like, he's not only is he a director, he's a director of photography, which I am myself, and I just think that is so badass, and I love those movies. He unfortunately didn't shoot this film, but another Italian well-known genre filmmaker shot this film, and that person being Joe D'Amato, who did films like a film that I fucking could not stand, which was Papaya, Love Goddess of the Cannibals. He did Beyond the Darkness. He's done, he's a pretty well-known name, so I think that was really cool that you got three people that I heard of making a film that I really never looked into. So that was cool to me because I like knowing the history behind the people that are all behind it, because a lot of times with foreign films is, a lot of people are going by different names. It's hard to kind of trace stuff down. IMDb doesn't have a lot of information. Wikipedia is a joke. Matter of fact, I think I get more information from Wikipedia when it comes to movies than I do from IMDb, because IMDb is just a shit show in my opinion. But anyways, so the movie isn't that great of a Giallo film. I will say that right off the bat. It has its moments. It has a couple of really cool POV shots that, like this chick gets drowned in a tub, and it's like this sort of whole POV from the killer's entrance to the apartment all the way to the murder, and then him leaving the building. And I thought that was pretty cool. And there was also, a couple of really cool kills that you don't get to see. You just get to see the aftermath of, which I thought, wasn't like, the greatest. Like, I'm used to watching Giallos, like, the Argento films and fucking Pieces and stuff like that, and New York Ripper, which is a movie I want to revisit, like, very soon. It was kind of lackluster. I mean, I'm glad I watched it, and I liked the acting, especially from the main actor. But other than that, it was just kind of like a cookie cutter kind of film with minimal violence. So basically, it's all about this professor who's fucking around on his wife with one of his students, and while they're messing around on this boat, the student happens to see this murder occur. And it's actually pretty grisly, but like I said, it's not shown. Basically, this girl gets a knife shoved into her private parts, and you kind of see the aftermath of it a little bit. You actually see it in X-ray form, which I thought was pretty cool. And from there, you get a couple of like interesting kills throughout, but you got this professor just trying to kind of solve the mystery and at the same time like prove that he's not the one causing these murders. It's pretty, like Giallos kind of follow a formula, with a lot of films do, but I'm still pretty new to the Giallo world. Like, I've maybe seen like under 20, and I just feel like it's a lot of the same. And but with that being said, every one of them holds its own merit and like has something that's worth seeing. Much like I liken it to martial art films from the 70s. Like, a lot of these really sort of low budgety ones, they all have something worth it. Even some of the blaxploitation films of the 70s, like, they're not the best films, but they always have one thing. One of my favorite blaxploitation films, the best scene in my opinion doesn't come till the very end, and that film was The Black Godfather. And at the very end of that film, someone is attacked with a meat cleaver, and I really love that. I love anything to do with a meat cleaver. I wish there was more meat cleaver deaths in movies, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna get pretty much what you expect with this film, but you're not going to get a lot of graphic material. This film almost could like be played on TV unedited for the most part. Like, I mean, there is some tits in this film, of course. It's an Italian film. You got some good shots of eyeballs and stuff like that. And one of the maybe not coolest, but just kind of like weirdest things in my opinion in this film is our main guy. He goes to investigate this older college student who knew this girl named Solange, and Solange happens to be this girl that's just kind of like maybe not missing, but no one really knows where she is. So our professor, he goes and visits this dude who may or may not know what's going on with this chick. He actually makes it aware or makes it known to the professor of Solange's existence, and he's actually wearing a shark tooth necklace, which I love because I have a shark tooth necklace. I'm not wearing it right now, but anyways, this dude with the shark tooth necklace is taking photos of this naked chick that's holding like a bunch of bottles of milk, which is like, what the fuck is going on here, man? This is some crazy shit. But yeah, I would say probably one of the most explosive parts of the film, in my opinion, is it shows a dead dog. And then it shows the dog's owner dead as well. And the dog's owner has a shovel in her vagina this time. Well, it's not really a shovel. I'd call it more of a trowel. But it's pretty twisted stuff. And she's like a back alley abortionist. And I just found that really messed up because the whole thing with Solange, not to like give total spoilers, she was part of this underground sex club that was happening throughout this Catholic schoolgirl fucking reformatory school, whatever you want to call it. And she's taken to this back alley abortionist, and she's gets an abortion, and then it basically fucking fries her brain, and now she's like kind of brain dead in a way, or maybe not brain dead, but just like not talking, almost like not exactly a Nova from Planet of the Apes, but you get the idea. Would I recommend watching this film? I would, if you're a diehard Giallo fan and you just kind of want to see like some pretty good direction and some pretty cool camera work. Other than that, and of course Ennio Morricone's score, because that's just, I'd love to listen to all of his scores. He's done a lot of music when it comes to cinema, and he's, like I said earlier, he's very well known. So I appreciate everybody for watching this video. Stay tuned for more 70s films, because one of the things I've realized in the last little while, especially since getting Netflix again, I fucking hate modern movies, man. I hate them. Like, especially horror, especially like genre films, man. When I go on Netflix, you know what I'm watching? I'm watching Get Him to the Greek. I'm watching Due Date. I'm watching the Hangover films. I'm watching all these, like, what they call late night or raunchy comedies, just because I think that if I'm gonna watch like a bad movie, I want to at least be entertained by it. There's too many horror films on Netflix that are garbage. I would watch this over pretty much any horror film they have on there right now. So, and I wouldn't really call this a horror film, but I would call it definitely interesting and well made, and a very cool poster. This is actually a German poster. I believe this was a German and Italian. I don't know, basically filmmakers from Italy and Germany got together and made this flick, and I would check it out, like I said, if you're totally into this kind of stuff. But with that being said, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Definitely go ahead and go to the Q&A question video and leave a question in the comments of that video, because I will be answering them come next Saturday, which is January 16th. So have all questions in by January 15th. That would be awesome. And definitely check out the Teespring account. I got a lot of new stuff on there, a bunch of shirts, backpacks now even. I'm trying to get hats made, but it's proving to be a bit of a pain in the ass. And I wish that I could bring the price down on some of the stuff, but if I bring the price down, I'm making like literally next to nothing. I already am making what I consider next to nothing on this stuff, but I just want to, be able to do some sort of give you guys an opportunity or a way to support the channel, the videos, the short films. I got a new short film that I'm going to be putting into production very shortly. I'm actually very excited for this one. It's going to be the first one where I'm not living at the old house. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So definitely check out The Wallet, which was our previous short film, and check out the Facebook page. I'm not that active on it in the last like week or two, but I usually post a lot of stuff that you're not going to see on YouTube. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'll watch Due Date for the 20th time and call it a night. So adios.